Welcome along everybody to a venue that was built for speed. Once an airfield, now one of the finest racetracks in the world. It's qualifying day here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another third track here at the Silverstone with one of livery as you can see on launch roll car. Beautiful looking one, and it obviously kind of almost suited to launch roll helmet. That's pretty positive, but we also do have the rain in the 20, so it's going to be very interesting to see how our car handle in the rain, but it's obviously not been having much rain in rain this season so far, which is very weird, because I've always felt like there's always at least one or two races going into per season or more, but there's not been any as we all have completed the third qualifier, and we obviously have to do two types of tyre, wet and instrument, which we have ourselves, which is John with Bearman, Torford, Lawton, Dumont, Hazard, Miata are out in 2-1, unfortunately, but in 2-2, we got Bortoletto, Holtenbar, Olton, Tullapito, Alon, and Fernando Alonso are out in 2-2. Now we are in 2 late with launch. Well, still doing a pretty good job, and here's the picture of our two placement of the brand new sponsor, which is pretty good. More money. How to play about that, and I thought like the logo they actually offer when you get maximised loyalty. The logo looks pretty good. I'm excited to kind of get into it, see how that feels. But unfortunately, we've been doing all the run in 2 that we end up not having a good position. We are P10, but it's the 1-2 mistake with Actielli on pole, Charles Dutton Gatley in third.
You join us in the United Kingdom today, or Great Britain as it's alternatively known. Well, it's certainly a great day today as we welcome you to one of the crown jewels of British sports, a track of speed, history and drama. It's Silverstone. It's the British Grand Prix. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Andrea Kimi Antonelli lines up on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Gasly, Tsunoda, Carlos Sainz, and Piastri. Verstappen, Stroll, Fernando Alonso, and Paul Aron. Colapinto, Ocon, Nico Hülkenberg, and Bortoletto. Norris, Miata, Isaac Hadjar, and Alex Albon. Doohan, Lawson, Crawford, and Ollie Bearman rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. And alongside me today, a man small in stature but big on comment, Anthony Davidson. Hello. Now you're the racing driver in this partnership, so tell us about this racing driver. Put us in their shoes. How are they going to be feeling?
Well, you've got to be prepared, Crofty. Before you even step foot inside the car, you've got to know, you've got to have a pre-race game plan. You've watched videos before you get into the car of previous races gone by. You know where you have to place your car if X, Y, or Z happens in front of you or behind you. So having this clear game plan is absolutely essential before you get in the car.
Radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
As we are now getting ready to track on to the British Grand Prix third, and we are looking at doing 1 stop, but still an option to do 2 stops, because I do know while doing a practice section, the tyre on the right side tends to have much overload. That's something I need to figure out with the team on what strategy does the better choice for this. It's pretty much going on to doing 2 sub strategies, so it all depends on what will be happening, and hopefully we will have some good luck with it, hopefully. And I also want to apologise again, there's been some echo in the commentating with David Klopfy and all that, so I apologise to the fan if that comes up again for the echo. I realise it's audio, it's a little bit muzzled when I was doing shorting out the audio before I start doing this, so I apologize in advance. But we all now have lined up to the waiting to start on for the third racing here in the Silverstone section in the season, as we are now waiting for the 5 like now underway with at the LA on the pole position had a fantastic start for him, the 3 right into turn 1, and it seems like Newton Tonona and Gatlin had overtaken Charlotte today, and it might be Newton Tonona to take the second place with Gatlin down to third, and Charlotte today unfortunately not to play. He got tired of speeding down in the turn 1. Did not help him out, that for sure. And we got long, not had to change the play to Matt for Stappen to that project star for Lance Law. But unfortunately, based on the performances that we have been going into the we are not looking to be one of the fastest cars. We are likely to be stuck in a midfielder position with time of start, but at least with a shortened point, and that one will be fine. And we don't land another who unfortunately have to be robbed the top of place due to the penalty that he had to have for the component change that robbed down the P50. And I do know Albon also had a place penalty as well, and we got Miata who's in P16. The Miata needs to recover pretty well. I mean, we can see he got paid, he can definitely pull it off, unlike what he did in the Austria, which is the last episode, and he slotted quite a lot. And we got Aston Martin actually being in the battle right now with Fernando Alonso in P10 with Ocon, who's in P11, and they are going back and forth for the position, and it seems like the Ocon had now taken the last points play in P10 with Paul Aaron, who's in P9, and we're not going to forget the accomplishment he had made this season back in Canada, having his third podium with the Audi. Brilliant work for Paul Aaron, and it's definitely something he will take it with a lot of confidence. And we've got Matt Verstappen, who had unfortunately got smoke coming out of his car, only just begun, and he's out in lap 2. There was not even enough miles to go on that, and he's unfortunately out, and we've got Esteban Ocon. He's now making a move on Paul Albon. Fantastic overtake, going into the third, Madrid and Budget. That's the other way around, Budget and Madrid. And obviously that don't be very confusing for me trying to keep up the commentating for the name to go in low. But Ocon, fantastic job, move up out for getting 1-3 play, because Matt Verstappen had the end up, unfortunately, and on board with Charles Leclerc, who nearly fourth, completing after Pierre Gasly. I'm not expecting to see anything, but at the end, and Newton Tonona are having their own racing to the other one who was close to, and Newton Tonona that seemed a lot faster than his teammate Matt Verstappen, because he obviously out-qualified Matt, so maybe Matt is having a little bit of the down form this season, potentially, and that kind of unfortunate for him. But at the end, of course, happy with what he's doing so far, keeping the lead, trying to maintain it and defend again to Newton Tonona, and of course the Noteboard are not exactly the same level as Mercedes in the performances anyway. So I don't think it's going to be easy work for Newton Tonona to catch at the LA, but on board with Long, who really shoved the play. Tried to do himself in the middle of no man land. He tried to catch the car ahead, but he just doesn't have that pace. But he also does have pace to beat the car from behind. So some of them on stop tires, they had the advantage with the tyre wear. But again, the performance merit for the British Motorsport is not exactly up to the par, which is unfortunate, but as long as we can finish in point at what I tell you about, and we're going to land on another who now up to P13, acted overtaking 2 cars before Matt had the end, I believe so. But it now changing off for Bortonetto and Paul Albon, who's unfortunately robbed the P11 despite being P9 and P8, that robbed the P11 now. So as the Audi now started getting to the point of the schedule, maybe due to tyre wear or the tyre is just not that quick enough. And we've got Miata, who's in P15, just needs to try and find a place to get the field ahead of him. And we've got Slower, who's really a good spot P7 over 4 touch and impacted, and we've got the fight going on with Bordenactor and Paul Aldon are joined side by side, and it seems that Bordenactor, Lou and Lando Norris is about to follow Lou and Aldon has lobbed 2 more places down to P13 ahead of his teammate Nick whole team bar. That is a shame for Paul Aldon going from point all the way down, being out of point, basically completely out of it potentially. But Lando Norris is twitching right now. He can definitely overtake Bordenactor, but the gap from him to Twiller Peter is quite a bit larger. But I can imagine he's going to catch up very easily anyway. And of course, there's still a long way to go. So I don't think Lando got too much to worry about, to be fair. And we've got Gatlin and Charles Leclerc had caught up to Newton Tanona, and at the alley now started pulling back to further shooting one from at the yellow. Again, the tyre don't make a bit play into this. Newton is lolly on stop, while at the yellow it's lolly on medium. That of course I mentioned about having loan on the right side that seemed to come into effect. For Newton Tanona to be dealing with that problem, that is a bit of a shame for Newton, but he's still on a podium. He shouldn't definitely be able to do something special, but I can almost imagine to do 2 stop starting while at the yellow, and those medium tyre rally are likely going on to 1 stop even slower. I'm thinking of doing 1 stop, and we've got Lando Norris, who is now side by side with Gabriel Bordenactor, and it looks like he might have to get lower. Lando Norris is up into P11, and we've got the fight with Miata, who's now just overtaken Paul Aldon. Aldon lost the P15 as he's been overtaken by a whole team bar and Miata. What is going on with Paul Aldon? A bit opportunity, and it's gone Jack Dimon. It's Jack Dimon. It's gone off the track. What happened here? Is anything come out? No, it's a green flag. The race continue, but Jack Dimon is off the track. I wonder if they made the big mistake. I don't will find out when the replay comes in, and at the yellow. Fantastic job for the young man doing pretty good work, and here is the replay of the Jack Dimon incident just before, and it looks like, yeah, he'd gone off the track, maybe took the dirty air, he took the mallet to get it in, to hit another handle again, going through the backwards corpse. Yeah, there you go. I think it's the dirty air that tried to force him to go off a little bit too much. He lost a bit of control or something, but that is unfortunate for Jack Dimon. I think now lost so much places, and he's going to be really annoyed with that for sure, compared to his teammate Bordenactor, who's done a pretty good job so far, not in the point, but can still achieve it. And we've got Fernando Alonso is now in the pit, and we've got more cars that started to come in, and some shade out. Miata shade out. In P11, to pretty good job for Miata now. What we need from him is to push this lap and try and gain an advantage over those cars who were ahead of him that have pitted. And we got Lando Norris in P9, Ocon P8, with almost 4 seconds behind the Lance Stroll, who will be pitting very soon. And I think he's safe to say 2 stops would be a much better option for Lance Stroll to go for, because he now started feeling the schedule of the way, and he's been told about to me, and it's that, look, this strategy we are doing, I think doesn't work. We need to come in, so we're tired of having that communication with Stroll, and we've got Carlos, so we taking over Piastri. Carlos been stuck behind Piastri for 8 laps. He can't even get by, and I think Carlos starting realising we need to do something different in the strategy potential, and we can see in the MFD where it's now in amber, and it's looking to be punched up very, very soon. So he's definitely coming in, and Newton Tanona is the one to come in out of those top 6. So Newton's the first in, Lance Stroll will be coming in, while Ocon also followed in, and Lando Norris seems to stay out. I am getting Lando are going to go for the 1-stop strategy, so it looks like he's managing that tyre pretty impressive. That's going to cut potentially Lance Stroll's position, but we are looking to commit into 2 stops, and we've got Carlos still chasing after the Piastri, can't do nothing, and we've got Leclerc now chasing after Gatlin, and there's some clear air between them 2. And for Newton Tanona pit, he probably would have caused the issue between Gatlin and Charles Leclerc. The car is actually fight the way they wanted to without causing the incident, but now we got slower coming out to the pit and we actually got another flag going on behind her. And I wonder what's happening, and it seems like it's probably the Aston Martin, because Old Tron with these Saturday now losing a lot of time. I'm guessing that Old Tron having a problem with his car. Fernando Alonso joined up to Peter, and it is Shaban. Old Tron is out of this British reverse rampant that is unfortunate for Old Tron. He was doing a pretty good job, no input for himself. But it looks like that might not happen, and we've got Stroll, who's in P11, really on soft tires. Obviously, you can see we are committing into two-stop. Fernando Alonso is on a medium tire. We have the advantage over Lance Stroll, but we've got a pretty good gap, so we don't have to worry too much about losing so many times. But for Stroll, too, Newton Tanola, not going to happen. Stroll to land another, might not even happen, so we need to try and just do something good. The car for the time must retire, and we've got Ole Behrman, who can now put in the fight with Nick Cole, whole team Barton. Behrman just looks like he did. Ole Behrman had managed to pull off a move again to Nick Cole, whole team Barton up into P12, and I don't know if he had, but we did not see Ole Behrman pitting, but I'm assuming he had not, even though he's having a really good racing so far. Made to move on. Not one of the places where you can likely to lose a grip very easy if you don't do it properly. But in lap 14 now at the LA, the leader had now pitted, Gasly had also pitted, and we've got Charles Leclerc already pitted the last lap. So we just see if Charles Leclerc could get that undercut over at the LA or not. We're going to find out at the LA. Has a pretty good job stop. He's doing a hard tire now, so he's going to be doing one stop anyway. And Newton Tanola, who are going to commit into two stops likely, and he's going to go out. And it seems like Charles Leclerc might have managed to overtake at the LA. Yes, he did. Charles Leclerc has taken the plate of at the LA, and I know for certain that when Newton Tanola comes in at the LA, that they will be behind his teammate who is been leading when Newton comes in, and that is unfortunate for at the LA, who's been really a fantastic job. But he might lose the win to Charles Leclerc, but it will be a big help for Charles Leclerc in the championship fight, because he is tied to starting the point away from Matt Verstappen, and at this point, Matt, got no points, so he'll lose a lot of play in the championship, because both of them are actually in the contender, and potentially Newton Tanola as well. And we've got Colapito in P10 battling with Miata, who have now just made a move, so he could have the chance for double point finish of that. We are impressive feast for Miata to be able to pull it off, considering where he started. So where he is now, so that is a fantastic work. And we've got Albon, who is running in a pack from P13 down to P16. More likely P16, not P17 to Torford over one section, so the gap is still quite big from Torford to Borton, so and we're on board with Land. Another in his home rampant in P9. He has pitted as well, but he's going to be committing into one stop, and we've got Fernando Alonso, who's in P8. I can imagine Lando will attack Fernando Alonso very, very soon, and Stroll cannot mess around at all. He needs to make sure he's in the car for the tire, come in when he needs to, and get the points finish, as we can see in MFD. The word isn't that good. We're now in 65%. Listen, just 2% in one taller. That shows a massive difference in that heavy load on the right side. And lap 16, we got Lando making a move on Fernando Alonso. So by side joint rebutted and measured. And it seems like Lando had now made a move and we're on board with the top. We are having a battle for the lead, and we've got Charles Leclerc looking to make a move on Newton Tanola. Tried to do it at the LA, sending the outside. Oh my god, what a move from Timmy at the LA, sending it for massive mile. And he managed to pull it off. Yes, he did at the LA, drawing up into second place. What a move from Timmy. He pulled it off. Incredible one from the young man. It now taken over Newton Tanona, and it now got the best of pay to tap Newton Tanona and take that lead for himself, and it knows to be happy. And we got a spin from Newton Tanona in the middle of a track now, and it made the contact with at the other Datley John there, Pierre Datley and Carlos Steyer. Carlos Steyer, John, and it's on their flag, there's on their flag, join somewhere, yeah, there's on their flag. Both from Barley in 1-2, and at the yellow in P3, he's the lead. Well, almost, and he knocked it all, which is the mistake that Newton made. And here it's the replay of the mistake from Newton Tanona, and we can see, yeah, a bit of a over a stalemate and toward to the car to half spin. But that's not the point we're looking in. The point we're looking in is Ferrari taking advantage and taking that 1-2. What the hell? How did they? I mean, that's not their fault. They are allowed to do that. When that didn't happen, they want to avoid it. But now we're going to restart with both of them leading in 1-2, and it's light down for the restart, and it's Datley on the lead with taller stars second place, and Newton Tanona can he get there back ahead of taller start, and we can see Slower made the mistake somewhere, had to crash it into the board, and that's not going to be a good help for Lance. No, I mean now Newton Tanona now gone ahead and overtaken taller start, and of course that Slower done slightly different to everybody on a hard tyre. It's a bit of a questionable one, to be honest, but I also will inform you there's two love with the penalty. Newton Tanona with 10-second penalty, and Slower with 3-second penalty, unfortunately, but he's on replay for the restart, and we got Slower who made a mistake at gone off the track and get back on track safely as much as he can, and he almost lost 2 more places to the car behind. But he got off the track to the dirty. Yeah, he was not expecting Anne. Of course, the hard tyre be very tall, with not a big help for Lance. Well, but unfortunately, we lost, place to land another lockdown to P8 now, which is just starting for Slower to deal with, but lands another from out the point now in the point. I can't deny that Lando managed to get some luck on his side, but I think Datley got the most of it. Datley is the luckiest man right now at the potential go ahead to win the back-to-back race. Well, Ferrari to win a back-to-back race in the third track. Carlos winning Austrian, and now Datley winning in the Silverstone. It's going to be an impressive race for both Ferrari drivers, completing and winning and stuff like that, and it's definitely a big help for the championship fight, and I cannot wait to see what the standing will look like at Newton Tanona. Obviously, with 10-second penalty, he needs to try and pull away with that 10-second penalty, and I think that's going to be easy because Newton Tanona has not really been showing that he got the fastest car before he had that mistake, because both mistakes actually caught up to him. So I think Newton will actually not be finishing on a podium, unfortunately, likely to be taller side on the second plate, and we got Fernando Alonso completing a fight against his old teammate Mia Slower, and it managed to defend and leading while keeping Fernando Alonso at bay. It's a fantastic work from Slower. It's just he needs to make sure he pulled away restarting that the whole point what he needs to do right now, and I think it's going to be quite hard. But that one put hard tyre on and knew immediately we will have a bit of a struggle with obviously the tyre wear to the heavy load on the right side will not be a big help. So therefore hard tyre will have the long lap, the advantage over medium and stop. So that's something we run for, and in lap 24 it kind of paid off, and we are now approaching 2-second gap. So Fernando Alonso at the race end, we will not behind Fernando, but we still be in points. That's good. That is the positive outcome, but we still want to increase over these seconds to finish P8, and in lap 25 now, Datley is still doing a pretty good job, pulling away 2 seconds now ahead of Newton Tanona. I can imagine Newton Tanona got it with the mistake that he had made, but can you imagine if he did not make that mistake, what kind of fight would he be bringing to the table again to both mistakes? I have no idea, but unfortunately that will not happen. At Newton Tanona at the man of the pulling away from Taylor start within 2 seconds now, but not enough for that 10-second penalty to cover it off. that's going to be a bit of a gutting for Newton Tanona. We still got another lap to go. The final lap is coming up fairly soon, but I think there'll be enough time as Carlos started leading that final podium spot again to Attielli, who won that podium. But can he get it? Oh, I think he can, because Newton 10-second penalty to the club, and now P6, P7, more likely P7, I believe that would be a very good for Attielli to get back on that podium, but he was on track for the win. It's not going to be a happy day for himself, but a happy day for Mercedes having the podium finish, basically. So that will help in the constructing title, and of course, Charles Leclerc having more point advantage over Max Verstappen, but that is going to be the closest one to Charles Leclerc in the championship. And we are, coming up and leading to the end. That is to the closest rival in the championship, not Max Verstappen anymore. Potentially, we have to wait to see what might happen at that is now began his final lap. And what will he be able to do? Hopefully, he doesn't make mistakes. That'll be very embarrassing. But that is a very good job. He fouled the advantage in the mistake of Newton Tanona. He can take it, and it's no fault if he don't. He can take the opportunity, and he's going to run away with it with the win for sure. And Carlos still managed to hold at the other behind. And I can imagine those cars that chasing after Carlos is now in the model state with the stop tires where they are a lot. And Carlos is on the stop tire, but with all of them be on stop, it's exactly that easy to try to get by, but we got the Piat that was actually on a medium tyre, but can Piat move though? I highly doubt it, because the pack is too much for him to try to find the space to send it though. And we got Colapito, who's in P10 leading that medium into the point. Behind him is Alex Albon, who's in P11, but we're now back on board with Gasly, who's having a quiet day most of the time, but now got the opportunity to bring home a trophy for himself and for the Ferrari completed back-to-back win. For the Ferrari, Gasly win the Silverstone, the third round point, and Newton Tanona took the last second place, but dropping down to P7, and it's going to be Carlos Sainz second place, Attielli third place. Incredible return for these guys, especially for the Ferrari, and to the top the line, the finish P8. Still in the point attack and play, pretty much Dan Dortmund running for a hard tire, but I know he will slot on without that hard tire. He needs to pour these things up, and well done to Lando Norris for a fantastic job for himself.
And it's victory, and what a victory for Pierre Gasly.
To witness such mastery of these conditions, these changeable conditions that we saw today, is very impressive indeed. So a huge congratulations to this driver for taking victory today.
There's room for three on their podium, but only ever one right at the top. Let the celebrations begin. And only one can take that top spot. Today, it's Pierre Gasly's.
Well done to Gasly for a fantastic return. I mean, he had to quietly, but then out of nowhere, bang, a win. Fantastic job, and Carlos Sainz, I think he was doing on purpose by slowing a lot of time behind, because he knew if he put too much, he would maybe have a bit of an issue. So I thought maybe he was thinking ahead, using 10-second penalty, not going to fight too much, I'm going to be in second place anyway. And Attielli, who would have won if there was no mistake from Newton Tanona, but he's still on third place. Cannot complain about that too much, but we can see in the standing, Newton Tanona 10 second penalty, still quite far away from Lance, which starts so much. And Ocon and Max Verstappen be the one who is out, and Gasly now 10 seconds behind of Leclerc. Carlos Sainz, 15 seconds, and Max is now one win behind with 26 points. That's unfortunate for Max Verstappen, been having this issue, and we've got Ferrari now 29 points ahead of Mercedes, down to the victory in the last ramp, and Austria where they went back to back 1-2 from Austria to now. That of course gave them a massive point boost over their rival. And what to see then I mean, honestly, it's a good start. The third part of the season, fantastic start for Leclerc, for Ferrari, Max Verstappen, good start, and then his tyres fell off. It's a fair and wild one, but that is what we're here for. So I cannot wait to see what the next rampant in Belgium will have to offer. So, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe my video. Do you appreciate it, and peace out.